If you'd like to hear the full episode or any of the scenario archives, be sure to subscribe and click the link in our bio. Also, like and follow the Scenario Radio Show on all of our social media platforms for more real talk with the playlist. Peace.
So we have listeners that are from all different levels of the relationship. And my question is going to be the same because I want to address all the types of listeners that we had. Tell us, what is the key to having a long-lasting, loving relationship?
Like at this stage in my life, it's about intention. Like I feel like people are intended to be coupled or thrupled or whatever is for you. But it's the intention and really manifesting, I guess, that partnership.
Honestly, I would just say my advice for anybody would just be know where you're at, know what your position is. If you're in a position where you're ready to date with intention, date with intention. If you're in a position where you want to be single and do your thing, do your thing. You know, just understand where you're at, respect where you're at, and be honest about it, because that's going to be the only way that really you're going to get anywhere. You know. Really, I mean, in any situation, that's really the only way that it's gonna work out and have any opportunity for longevity. So, yeah, just being honest with yourself, being honest with your position, and you know, if you want it, like, go get it. Don't worry about what other people think is appropriate or, you know, the right time or couldn't be me. We heard a lot of couldn't be me.
I know, right? That's what it's not, sis.
They are also not in our lives anymore. So, yeah. Exactly. So
I was divorced for 7 years, and it's a lot of work to be grounded again. When Clue popped up in my date box, I didn't want a man.
Yeah. Like it was something about the bald head and the beard that just changed all
Well, you know, sometimes in all good courting is a little bit of, do I really want this? So, you know, part of courting is convincing. So good job, Chloe.
Yeah. So when he like popped in and then hit my DMs, like the thing that really made me pay attention to him was the fact that he was like, I am not trying to waste your time. And I wouldn't have even approached you if I didn't feel like I wasn't going to waste your time. And that's attractive as hell.
I was going to say, yes, Clue, yes.
Hold on, say that again. What was it again? It probably won't work on my wife. She'll be like, what are you talking about?
I think the key is, you know, everyone always says communication is key and that you got to, you know, have a good understanding and a good communication plan. And I truly do believe in that. I think if both of you all are on the same page and if you're being transparent and honest with each other, and if you have that open line of communication, I feel like it will take you so far. And that's on all levels. So communication, not just day to day, like what we're talking about and what are you doing today? What time are you going to get home? You know, that type of stuff. I think it extends beyond of like what you're feeling, being very honest and transparent about how you really feel about something. How, if your partner, if your spouse did something, giving them a true response of what that meant to you. And also just constantly checking in to make sure that you guys are still in alignment, because communication is key and it's important.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was going to say communication, not because you said it, but I was going to add, you know, extending grace is super important at this point in the game. Like knowing that we're both still evolving, we're growing, we're getting into different stages of our life. Like being able to extend that grace, allow that growth to happen, and being able to communicate about that is very important. And something that I came into marriage that I believe is really still key to this day is vulnerability. Like being able to be super vulnerable with your partner when you can't be with the rest of the world is really important to, you know, we all bring home different things from our jobs, or we experience different things in the world and we bring that into our household. The way we compartmentalize that within our household, or if we compartmentalize that in our household and we keep that separate and we're not vulnerable with our partners, then it starts to cause barriers and rifts. And you don't want to do that. You want to be vulnerable with your partner. You want to let them know when you are feeling a certain type of way, and allow them to be able to just be that confidant that you really need at those vulnerable moments.
Yeah, and with that vulnerability, just
now you want to jump in. Go ahead.
Dropping his good words.
The only thing I'll add is just, really understanding that you're two human beings that are meant to evolve. You're going to grow. The person you married, and just, example for us, the person I married back in 2012, he's the same, he is Lionel. That's his foundation. However, he has evolved. Yeah, that person is long gone. Like, he's that person I married in 2012 has grown. He's experienced things. We've had kids. That changes people, adults individually. And, he's literally not the same person that I married in 2012 for the better, for the positive. He's literally baking cakes now, and he was not doing that in 2012. And so it's things, having, that's a part of that communication and that extension of grace, of just knowing that the person I married today is going to evolve, and I have to be willing to evolve with them and be ready to experience that evolving. So
I always say just stay crazy, and again, just the whole, everything comes down to being compassionate, being real, being accountable, being zealous, being yielding. Be compassionate for your partner. That's something that I had to learn how to do. Show compassion, understand where they're coming from, not just give my own perspective. Be real in the moment, and not make up things in my head like I would do on my way home, like, oh, because I know he blah blah whatever. That's not even. Like, what are you talking about?
All right, home by yourself. I've won some of my best arguments like that.
Yes.
Amen. And it's also about being accountable, not just accountable to each other. It's about being accountable to yourself, to that person that's looking back in the mirror. You are married to someone else. You have taken those vows before God, but on a daily basis, when you get up in the morning, you look in the mirror. You have to make sure that you love that individual that's looking back at you, and you want that person to be the best version of him or herself for the other person. And then the zealousness, this is something we always joke about, but zealousness just means enthusiasm.
Yeah, and you can't be enthusiastic about the argument that you feel like you won, because when you feel like you got a good point, oh, I can't wait for him to get home. Oh, wait till I'm clapping back or whatever. We have to be zealous, and even in our service to each other, that's where the zeal comes from, enthusiasm.
And probably the most controversial piece is the yielding. That's the submission part, particularly when it comes to Black men. When we're talking about us, well, actually, it goes both ways. So there's two things that are at play. Men are like, okay, well, we've got a very definitive, mindset about the roles, gender roles within a relationship. And we've got some individuals coming over in a couple hours that, some relatives, they're like, the woman's supposed to do this. And because of our community, the way it's been structured, whether it's due to, institutionalized racism, if it's due to the way that you grew up, the neighborhood, what have you, we have a lot of women that were told, and rightfully so to a certain extent, you need to make sure you can take care of you. That's how we raise our daughters. Make sure that you can stand on your own 2 feet. You don't need a partner for anything. You need to make sure that you can stand up, be your own. But sometimes the pendulum swings both ways. You also have to know how to receive as much as you do to stand. And sometimes, like one thing that was huge for us was taking a very strong, independent woman and allowing not a man to lead, but somebody to be her partner, and you advance together. So think about being crazy. Be crazy in love, in the manner in which we talk about.
This is the Scenario Radio Show. Real talk with a playlist.
That's the